Qala imla. Alahayana Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Hamashiach Wamalaki Bahashim Harawat Wakakorash Barakathum. The water by Baba Wakwam Yasharala. Double honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who teach us daily. To the men out there teaching the lightwise doctrine and say Shalom. Today we're going to get into a couple of videos where Esau Edom, aka Donald Trump, his emotions are showing again. Now, if y'all remember a couple of months ago, we did a couple of videos and we've been bringing up talking points around the fact that Esau doesn't rule the world. His emotions do. And that's why we are at this point in time right now, because of Esau's emotions. How it all began. Let's take it back to when they cover the faces of the judges thereof, Job chapter 9, verse 24, because they want to be us so bad. And I don't understand why you want to be something that you hate. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand that psychology at all, because, well, this is what I think what it is. I think Esau wants to be able to position himself to a point that he'll be able to say that we were never here, and he's always been here. You know, he wants to get rid of all remnant of us so that no righteousness can come out. He wants to get rid of us because every time he looks at us, it's a reminder to him of how wicked he is and unrighteous he is. That's why Trump is getting rid of all the slavery artifacts in museums. But still, it's still strange. It's odd because they claim they hate us so much. They claim we ain't. We lazy, all this stuff. But at the same time, why did you hide our identity? Because he wanted to be us. So it comes back to my original question: why you want to be something that you hate? But anywho, let's get into these videos. I want to bring out a copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the favor and balance of fair use. Okay. 441. Call Lord Malala. Hi, now you how about Shim? You have a shot. Let's go ahead and grab the videos. This first one is Trump decides to alienate our allies because his feelings are hurt. Now, what he did in this video is so odd, but once again, it's a testament to the fact that Esau's emotions rule the world. Spain, they are against this war. They are a NATO ally. They are with NATO, but they are against this war. And they told other European countries to not support this war. So Trump asked Spain if they can use their runway. Spain said no. So in response, Trump cut off Spain. Now, this is the thing about Spain. We export more trade to Spain than we import, meaning we sell them more items than what we buy from them, which was good because the United States doesn't make anything. So that was a plus. Well, he just messed that up because him and his fields. So let's let Fair and Balance explain it to you. And, I just summed it up, but he'll go more into detail with. Let's go.
So we don't have a real reason why we're in Iran. We don't have a timetable on how long we're going to be there. And of course, we don't have the intelligence in place because Kash Patel fired all those, but at least we've got allies, right? Well, no. Spain came out this week and encouraged the rest of the European Union to please, for the love of God, do not support this war. It's a simple message. It's an accurate message. Trump started this aggression. And yes, Iran is acting out and Iran is, trying to attack others. Sure. Because we kicked the hornet's nest. The hornets were fine inside their nest to a degree, sure. But we kicked it and now they're going around stinging everybody. Because that's what happens. Spain understands it. To a certain extent, the United Kingdom understands it, and they're hoping that the rest of Europe will also understand that. Now, that pissed Trump off. So on Tuesday, Trump said this: Spain has been terrible. In fact, I told Scott Bessent to cut off all dealings with Spain. Not happy with the UK either. Germany's been great, he said as he's talking to the German chancellor. He has been terrific.
I want to stop it right here now. The thing is with Trump, you have to kiss his ass to get on his good side. If you tell him no, he gonna demonize you and lie on you and say you the worst person that was ever born. So Trump needs yes men. He needs compliance. Anything that goes against compliance with Trump, he get in his feelings and he start talking about you like a child, like the child that he is. You know how a spoiled child reacts to being told no, through a temper tantrum. That's what all this is.
Terrific. Others have been very good. Terrific. I think that the head of NATO, Mark, fantastic. I think he's fantastic. But some of the European, like Spain, has been terrible. In fact, I told Scott to cut off all dealings with Spain. Spain, first of all, it started when every European nation, at my request, paid 5%, which they should be doing, and everybody was enthusiastic about it. Germany, everybody, and Spain didn't do it. Now, Spain actually said that we can't use their bases, and that's all right. We could use their bases if we want. We could just fly in and use it. Nobody's going to tell us not to use it.
See? You see what I'm saying? These people told you no. Just like Greenland told him no. But you see what he said right here. It says, and now Spain actually said that we can't use their bases, and that's all right. We could use their base if we want. We could just fly in and use it. See? That's why you got denied the birthright, Esau. And I'm explaining to you more. Let's get it. This is Psalms chapter 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked Yahweh said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Listen to this. Seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee. See? He cast Spain's words right behind him. We still can use it if we want to. Don't worry about it. See, that's why everything is so out of whack, because there is no what's the word I'm looking for? There's no structure here. These Edomites are doing whatever they want to do. They're not following the structure of law, the structure of international law, the structure of that has been set by the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, and all these other documents that got you thinking that you got rights. There's no structure here. So it's just a matter of time before Esau destroys his own kingdom.
All right, two big things to unpack there. Donald Trump is saying, well, Spain said we can't use their sovereign land, but we could just take their land if we want. We can do that. That's our thing. We can do whatever because nobody can stop us. That alone should be an impeachable statement.
Man, Trump he should have been impeached the day after he got selected for his second term. But once again, Edom does not follow their own laws. So how are they going to be examples to the other nations? They are examples to the other nations of how to say we're not following laws. And that's why the United States is being redefined as a rogue state, headed by a rogue president. Now, what happens to rogues? You have to put a rogue dog down. If not, the rogue dog gonna keep on biting people. So you got to put him down. That's what them nukes for. The weapons of the Lord's indignation. Let's go.
He's threatening not just an ally, he's threatening a NATO ally.
Mm-hmm.
How is this not like a bigger story than it is? He's threatening another country saying, don't you dare tell me I can't walk into your country. I'm going to walk in anyway and you can't stop me. He is drunk with power. Power that he doesn't actually have.
See, one thing about power, power identifies who is for and who is not for. It's obviously not for the nation of Edom because you have seen this nightmare called America. Esau is unfit to rule. He's too reckless, too emotional.
But he thinks he does because he's toppled two regimes. The second thing is we're cutting off all trade with Spain. That hurts us. Mm-hmm. That hurts us more than it hurts Spain. See, Spain is one of the few countries, few big countries, that we actually have a trade surplus with. Mm-hmm. Meaning we send more to Spain than they send to us. We're winning that, okay, in terms Trump can understand. So by cutting off all trade, that hurts American businesses more than it hurts Spanish businesses.
Exactly. Same way the alcohol makers, they got hurt when Canada dropped all the liquor. Yeah, they stopped selling all American liquor, and all the liquor companies took the hit because Trump basically ended a large percentage of their sales to Canada. So they're not making as much money as they used to. Same thing that's going to happen to all the American companies that's selling goods to Spain. You're hurting American companies, but that once again, that's the goal, to piss off the citizens so they can rise up and he can lock you down.
Because we're selling more to them than we're buying from them. So that's not necessarily punishing Spain because they'll just go buy that stuff from somebody else, okay? Because we're not making anything that is not also made in other parts of the world. Mm-hmm. So they'll be fine. We'll see more unemployment and more people going out of business. Mm-hmm. Brilliant plan there. And why the F do you think that trade is the biggest, most powerful bargaining chip on the planet? It's definitely not. But somebody at some point in his life, somebody who's very dumb, told him trade is better than anything else. And if you cut off trade, you kill a country. And he believed it because he's dumb too. Mm-hmm. And that's why he's doing all of this. Thanks for watching. And if you are not...
Now, I got one more video. This one is called Trump Attack Iran to Soothe His Fragile Ego. Once again, them emotions. Let's get it.
According to a new report from Reuters this week, the reason that Donald Trump decided to do this assault on Iran in the first place was, of course, because Israel and Saudi Arabia were begging us to go, please bomb them. We don't like what they're doing. As if anybody likes what Israel or Saudi Arabia are doing to their people and their neighbors, but regardless. And so that was a big part of it. But Reuters spoke to people inside the administration, and it turns out there's actually another, possibly bigger reason why Trump decided to do this in the first place after being begged by those two other countries. And according to people that Reuters spoke to, the reason that Donald Trump attacked Iran was because he wanted to look strong.
That's not the reason. The reason Trump attacked Iran is because he's being blackmailed by the materials in the Epstein files. And if he doesn't do those Tiny Tots bidding, they're going to expose him. That's why they're always hanging the threat of exposing him over his head. And he's so stupid, he doesn't know how to counter. So these Tiny Tots got a lot of shit on Trump. And if he doesn't do their bidding, they're going to throw him under the bus. And he'll probably end up spending the rest of his life in jail. So that's why he's doing it. Now, the reason he gave to the people, that's a totally different story. But through the spirit, we know that this is why he's doing this.
Let me read you this. Top aides cautioned that U.S. intelligence did not provide a clear guarantee that escalation could be avoided once strike began, and that the administration risked tying its political fortunes to an unpredictable aftermath. Trump ultimately sided with those who believed his decisive action would show him as a strong leader, even if it carried long-term risks, the official said. One informal Trump advisor who has been to the White House in recent days argued that the main electoral danger lies not with middle-of-the-road or independent voters, but with members of Trump's MAGA movement, for whom non-interventionism was a key part of the president's pitch during the 2024 campaign. So, even this informal advisor was like, listen, don't worry about the moderates, don't worry about the Democrats ever, but your base doesn't like this. Okay? They're totally non-interventionalists for the first time in Republican history, of course. So if you do this, you're going to run some pretty big political risks. You could kill any chance the Republicans have to win the midterms, which is true. We are now seeing MAGA influencers like Nick Fuentes come out and actively encourage people, go vote for Democrats, don't vote for...
There's not going to be a midterm election. Because this man is going to either declare war or martial law before then. He's already said it without saying it. So he can stay in office. There's two ways you can stay in office: declare war or martial law.
Republicans because of this. And Trump was like, but if I don't do it, I'm going to look weak. And if I look weak, that hurts my feelings. And I don't want to have hurt feelings. So bombs away. People are dead. Hundreds of people are dead, including several U.S. service members. They're all dead because Donald Trump had to soothe his very fragile male ego to show everybody that he's strong. Like, I'm a big tough guy. I mean, you saw what I did over there. You saw what I did in Venezuela too. Like, obviously I'm super tough and you can't say I'm not super tough. You know, pay no attention to the fact that my body is falling apart and I can't stand up for more than 2 minutes at a time. I'm tough. I'm a big man. You know, here's the thing about actual tough guys. The thing about tough guys is they don't have to go around showing you that they're tough. The people who are actually secure in their masculinity are not the ones who go out there and boast about their masculinity every day, right? They're not the ones like, look how manly I am. Look, I'm totally manly. Definitely not anything but manly. No. When you're secure, you don't have to say it. You don't have to show it. It shows itself.
Exactly. Which bring me to this point. As far as the nation of Edom, the way they just repeat white supremacy, white supremacy, we're superior every 5 minutes, that makes you look terribly weak, because if you were superior, you, like he said, you wouldn't have to say anything. It would just show. And what did Denzel Washington say in that movie American Gangster? The loudest person in the room is the weakest person in the room. But he got to remind everybody he's superior every 5 minutes, which nobody's listening.
All these little MAGA freaks who think like we're the manly men and we're going to say that every chance we get. You're the cowards.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump ordered these strikes on Iran from a party at Mar-a-Lago, not from a command center in the Middle East, right? He wasn't in the heart of the action. He was thousands of miles away at a party. Because he's such a manly man in a little blanket fort outside of the, party.
Yep. The manly man who drafted dodged the draft 5 times. That dude? Okay. Yeah. The same guy who talked shit to world leaders and can't wipe his ass? Okay. Yeah.
Does that sound like a big tough guy? The 79-year-old man with bruises and now this, horrible neck rash that makes it look like his head's about to fall off from decay. Is that the big tough guy? Is that your manly man, Donald Trump? Killing kids at a school in Iran?
Yep.
Super big, strong man, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a coward. He has a pathetic excuse for a man, and he knows it. That's why he tries to do these things, to soothe his fragile ego. So more people, U.S. citizen and Iranian alike, will die just so Trump can, for a brief moment, feel like a man.
Oh.
Thanks for watching, and if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please.
See, all we saw was a pathetic waste of flesh. MAGA saw leadership. And obviously, they were wrong. Let's get some scripture. Yeah, this man's emotions is all over the place. That's the national security threat, Trump's emotions. Anybody who tells him no, he gets in his feels and he want to hurt you back. And that's probably a good reason why all his businesses failed as well, because he's too emotional. All you got to do is follow the rules, follow a business plan. A business plan does not contain emotions. That's why his businesses fail, because he chose to feel some kind of way toward anybody who told him no. He took it personal instead of seeing it for what it is, business. So let's keep rolling, man. Isaiah chapter 26, verse 10. That favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. It's not in him to do righteousness. Because, yeah, he is weak. He's been crying since the book of Genesis. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. Chapter 14, verse 1. No, that ain't it. I think it's chapter 10. Yep. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, unrighteous laws, unfair laws. Every time he get in his feels, he do something stupid. But all of this is in the plan to piss off the people. Don't forget that. Nobody destroys a country by accident. This is very intentional. They removed the checks, the system of checks and balances, so this man can destroy his own country. Because them small hats over there got him by the nuts. Well, guess what? If you went over there messing with them kids, they wouldn't have nothing on you, fool. And that go for all you other fools that went to that island. You about to get what you need, what you deserve. Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. He shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Yeah, through his policy, all he got to do is pick up a pen and say, we're not dealing with Spain no more. Why? Because they hurt my feelings. Oh. Unfit to rule. And then they oppress out of emotion. They want to be us so bad, they hate the fact that they can't be us, so they take it out on us. And they oppress us. Let's go to Ezekiel. I think it's chapter 22, verse 29. The people of the land have used oppression and have exercised robbery and have vexed the poor and needy. Yeah, they have oppressed the stranger wrongfully. Now, when they oppress us, that comes from emotion too. Jealousy, envy, hatred, all rolled into one. This man is a walking emotional wreck. He don't even understand how he feels. He feels base emotions. But one thing he's lacking, which totally disqualifies him from being fit to rule, is empathy. The Lord did not give this man empathy. And it shows. See, they try to paint not having empathy as a strength. It's not a strength. And it also explains the reason why Esau deletes his own family members. No empathy. Because think about it. If a woman gives birth to a child, she has no empathy, that child would die. If the father of that child, if he doesn't protect that child would die. No empathy. So instead of protecting his family, Esau deletes his family out of what? Emotion. Unfit to rule. Instead of thinking things through logically, his emotions take the wheel. Then bam, before you know it, World War III is here. Book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 17. This matters by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. Basement. Check this out. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 11. A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it into afterwards. Because a wise man knows that emotions come and go. You ain't gonna be as pissed off as you were yesterday today. You never make important decisions when you are emotionally charged. Those emotions influence your decisions. And some of the decisions you make out of emotion will come back and bite you in your ass. Just like this scripture I just read. A fool uttereth all his mind. You can't keep this man off True Social. Because once it hits the internet, you can't take it back. So what if you discover that, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have wrote that. It's too late. It's already out there, and people are already creating opinions. about what you posted. They're painting a picture of you out of what you post. So if you mad as hell yesterday, but you cool today, guess what? That post still out there. And people still judging you on that post. This is what Donald Trump does not understand. That's why it is totally not wise to put your every thought on the internet. Get this one. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 16. Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child. Woe mean destruction. And thy princes eat in the morning. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Ain't nobody rejoicing right now. Verse 10. The bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul. So, we all know who the bloodthirsty is, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, they literally drink blood. And we also know who's the upright, the Israelites. Verse 12, if a ruler hearkens and lies, all his servants are wicked. Did they not just prove this in 1 year? Pam Bundy lying ass, Kristi Noem lying ass, Stephen Miller punk ass, Marco Rubio punk ass, Mike Johnson punk ass, Pete Hegseth punk ass, JD Vance punk ass, all them liars. If a ruler hearkens and lies, all his servants are wicked. And I got another one for you. Proverbs chapter 28, I think, verse 11. No, that ain't it. It's where is it? Okay. I remember 28 somewhere. So like it's Psalm chapter 12, verse 8. I knew it was a 2 in there and an 8. But this is Psalm chapter 12, chapter 12, verse 8. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. So if you got the vilest man in the middle, Trump, the wicked walk on every side. They surround him. That's why he chose to surround himself with yes men and got rid of everybody that he thought was going to tell on him, actually doing their jobs. Now let's get this one. Matter of fact, let's just go to the Apocrypha. Here we go. I can get more out of this than looking it up. The book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. That explains a lot, right? You got a lying ass president, you're gonna have lying ass administration. Still in the book of Sirach, chapter 13, verse 5. We start at verse 4. If thou be for his prophet, he will use thee. But if thou have anything, if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. If thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yeah, he will make thee barren, not be sorry for it. Yeah, he'll make you bare just out of revenge because he in his fields. What did he just do to Spain? But see, his dumb ass thought that what he was doing was hurting Spain. No, it's just like Farron said. That move is hurting American business that sends exported goods to Spain. Just an emotional idiot. But for some reason, MAGA saw leadership in this guy. Okay. Chapter 14, verse 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in all his goods. This man dog out other Edomites. Now it's trickling down to you MAGAs. Now you want to impeach him. You never should have put him in. But once again, presidents are selected, not elected. But you carrying the guilt like you elected this clown. See all these little tricks Esau play on your mind? Y'all actually out here walking around feeling guilty like y'all actually put this man in power. No, he was selected to do this. So don't feel guilty. This is prophecy. You didn't vote for shit because you never had rights. They're letting you know that now, are they not? Freedom of speech, you never had it. It was just contained to a degree. Because once you tell some truth in Esau's wicked kingdom, he wants to come and get you. This man he ain't allowing that. He ain't be telling no truth in my kingdom. That's how wicked he is. Verse 7. We go to 6. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is the recompense of his wickedness. You see? Just envious, just full of jealousy and hate. First of all, jealousy is a female trait. So that explains a lot about you, E. Verse 6. There is none worse than he that envieth himself. Esau, jealous of other Edomites. And this is a recompense of his wickedness. And if he do it good, he do it unwillingly. And at the last, he would declare his wickedness. The envious man have a wicked eye. Trump want everything he see. He turned away his face and despiseth men. Exactly. Verse 9, a covetous man's eyes not satisfied with his portion, and the iniquity of the wicked drives up his soul. Trump ain't got no substance. He too wicked to have any character, any substance. This man want everything he see and don't know what to do with none of it. Sirach chapter 10, verse 9. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. This man wants everything he sees. He wants Greenland, Canada, the Suez Canal, Mexico, Cuba. He wants his name on every building. Your name is cursed, man. Everywhere you put your name, they lose money. I'm sure you noticed that. Like them 20 to 30 businesses you ran in the ground with your daddy's money. Everything you put your name on is cursed. It loses money. Your hotels are suffering now. Let's take it from the top, verse 9, Book of Sirach, chapter 10. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. For such as one setteth his own soul to sell, because while he liveth, he cast away his bowels. That's exactly what he did. He sold his soul to the tiny tops. No substance. Let's get this one. This is the book of James, chapter 5, verse 6. You have condemned and killed the just. He does not resist you. And that what he did in Venezuela, Nigeria, Syria 3 times his first term, and now Iran. Let's get this one. And they love this one. This is their favorite. They love breaking agreements. They love lying. Psalms chapter 55. Verse 20. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He have broken his covenant. How many treaties, how many ceasefires this man has broken? Israel and the United States. That's why it says in the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10, that will trust thine enemy. For like his iron rusted, so is his wickedness. He's just going to only wax worse and worse with the wickedness. Verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Yeah, I think we can come up again. I think we can come up with some kind of peace agreement. They bombed Iran while they were at the peace agreement. The same thing with they did another country like that too. Just bombed them out the blue. They thinking they finna talk about peace. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. He already ready to attack. Because this man is bloodthirsty. Verse 23, Salakia. But thou, O Yahweh, shall bring them down to the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. Now, this might be a special case because the elites are going to be the first fruits of slavery. Now, we can get a couple more. We can close this thing out. Let's go to Jeremiah. Emotional E. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 9, verse 5. And they will deceive. And they will deceive everyone his neighbor and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies and weary themselves to commit iniquity. Esau, Edom. Now let's get this one. This was about to happen. The book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 1. Woe to thee that spoilest, spoil mean rob, and was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. That's all this administration been doing, treacherous. Just treachery all over the place. And let me start over. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. When thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. See, these other nations finna get down on your level of wickedness. Because when you did that shit to Venezuela and Nigeria, You changed the rules of engagement and didn't even know it. You had these other nations fooled like you were actually following some kind of law, moral laws, if anything. No. They're doing what they've always been doing. They just out in the open with it now. So the other nations are going to stoop to your level of wickedness. As you could see, over 40 nations are creating workarounds to not deal with the United States at all because you can't trust them. You can't. So the only way to deal with the United States is to not deal with the United States. Because peace they know not. Let's get that in Isaiah chapter 59. Actually, there are two ways to deal with the United States. Either to not deal with the United States or to blow this bitch off the map. Isaiah chapter 59, verse 7. Once again, this is talking about wicked two-thirds Israelites, but you can apply this to Esau because this is where they got that behavior from. Their feet run to evil. They make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity. Wasting and destruction are in their paths. Esau wanted to destroy anyway. He just needed an excuse. Even if he has to make up one. Even if he has to lie about an excuse. That's how much he loves death, violence, and destruction. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity. Wasting and destruction are in their paths. Everywhere they go. The way of peace they know not, and there's no judgment in their goings that have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. Now they're turning on NATO allies. See, anybody who deals with the United States ends up regretting it. That's why there's only one way to deal with the United States, and that's not to deal with the United States. Psalm chapter 32, verse 37. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. Yep. We can end on Proverbs chapter 6. And this is Trump. I think they were describing Nero because the apostles and the elders believe through the reincarnation that Trump is Nero coming back. And I can see why too. I discern that spiritually as well. So I really think these scriptures that I'm about to read are describing Nero and Trump / Trump rather. And when I read them, just picture Trump in your mind. You be like, yeah. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 12. A naughty person, a wicked man walking with a froward mouth. Froward means that you are purposely difficult to get along with because you can't have your way. What that sound like? Verse 13, he winketh with his eyes, he speaketh with his feet, he teacheth with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. He soweth discord, dividing people instead of bringing them together. Always putting this group against that group. Verse 15, therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. These 6 things that the Lord hate, yes, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. This man is a walking abomination. But for some reason, y'all saw leadership. And guess what? You right, because he about to lead y'all into captivity. Call volume law. Alahayna Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah Hamashiach, Wamalaki Yabaha Shem, Harawat, Wakakurash, Barakathum, the water Baba Ball, Wakwam Yasharala. Shalom.